Hello, welcome back to this week's the season finale of our top 5 Halloween special. Of course, I'm your host, Kevin Dagger, and to my right and to the bottom of me, let's go with to my right. He's online, he's on TV, he's on radio, he's on the internet, he's got podcasts, you name it, he's there. My good buddy George. George, what's going on?
I'm happy to be here on this last one of the videos. We're gonna have a great time. My voice obviously is affected, so might not talk a lot this episode, but I'm here. Let's talk about witches.
Well, you see, that's what happens when you party and you get old. We can't hang like that, bro. We can't hang like that no more.
I kind of forgot that I'm not 25 anymore.
No, we couldn't hang out like that when we were 25. We're gonna hang like that now.
Nah.
We're too old for this shit. All right. And our special guest this week, if we were going to talk about witches, we needed a female on the panel. Here we have Zael. Zael, how's it going on? Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. How did I get so lucky to be surrounded by such handsome gentlemen on this evening?
You got lucky. You got lucky.
I did get lucky.
You got lucky. Okay, so we're gonna excuse Moncho. Moncho couldn't make it today. He had some he had something come up, couldn't make it, so we're gonna excuse him, but he is always here in spirit. So we're gonna talk about witches. Now, when I started to make the list, I realized I'm like, wow, there's a lot, but not too many really famous witches out there. Not like vampires or werewolves or zombies or things like that. Like witches, they're particularly famous during Halloween. But once you get out of the Halloween season, they kind of like just like fade into the background. So we're gonna give them a little bit of love. We're gonna talk about witches. So since we do have a guest and it is females, ladies first, Zael.
See, I knew you were going to go that route.
Yep, exactly. I'm not. Of course. What is your number 5 witch?
Well, my number 5. Let's just say that when the first time I saw this trailer for this movie, I thought it was a horror movie. It wasn't until years later where I rewatched the movie, I realized, oh my gosh, this is a kid's movie. And my number 5 is the Grand High Witch from the movie The Witches in 1990.
All right, you started off with this one at number 5.
At number 5, yes.
Damn. All right.
Mm-hmm. I'm picky.
Okay, why? Why her?
Why her? Well, again, seeing the trailer in 1990, I was, in the middle of middle school. I saw the trailer. I still wasn't with my love of horror movies as I am now. And I saw the trailer and I just saw that face. And I'm like, wow, that's a scary face. And it just kind of haunted my dreams for a couple of weeks after I saw that trailer. And it wasn't until I actually watched the movie where I didn't think it was that bad. So I put her in my number 5 because I felt that I have other witches who kind of scared me even more. This one freaked me out as a kid, but as an adult, and it being a kid-friendly movie, it's good to scare the kids. But as an adult, when you finally see it and see how the plot of the movie develops, it's like, it's not that bad.
No, it's not. I mean, it's very iconic, and it's obviously she's played by the beautiful Angelica Houston, who is my Morticia. That's my Morticia. I'm sorry, Carta Jones. I love you, but my Morticia is Angelica Houston. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a good pick. You went high there on number 5. Shit. All right, so George, what is your number 5?
All right, so before, I always like to tell what the criteria I use for the list, because I actually, let me tell you something, Kevin, like what you said before, you said at the beginning, I actually thought that it was way too many witches that to choose. Like, I love witches, I've been watching shows and movies and books about witches for a long time. And I decided that, okay, so if I have to pick my 5 favorite witches, it would be a hard list. But then, okay, this is Halloween, horror show. So let's pick the 5 witches that had actually scared me or creeped me out. So that was an easier list to put together. So my number 5 is the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. And you're going to see that a lot of those, in fact, that a lot of some of the witches on my list, they scared me when I was a kid. Like, I remember watching The Wizard of Oz on TV and being really creeped out by her. and she did amazing. I don't remember the name of the actress right now, but she did an amazing job. And that movie in general is really creepy. Like it's a really creepy movie. If you watch it with kids' eyes, And back then they didn't give a shit. They will scare the shit out of you. They didn't care if you were a kid or not. And the Wicked Witch of the West, she did a really nice job with that.
Yeah, the actress is Margaret Hamilton. I just looked it up, and I'm gonna piggyback because she's my number 5. She's the OG. To me, she's the
Yeah.
OG. She just having crazy ass flying monkeys. Just do whatever you want. That's enough for me. But you know what sticks out besides? I mean, when I first saw it in black and white. So it was her performance. Like the makeup was, at least when it was in black and white, it was very basic. You couldn't see it. Then when they colorized it, you can see all the green skin and you can see, like just a basic classic witch. However, I remember one time she was on Mr. Rogers, and she went on the Mr. Rogers show, and he's talking to her, and she says, "Oh, did you like to scare children?" She says, "Oh no, I don't like to scare children. I'm here to show people that I'm just an actress playing a part and that I'm not scary." So she brought the original costume on the show, and she showed the kids how she put on the costume, and she did the laugh. So she said, "See, I'm just a regular person. It's just play fun." So I thought that was cute from her. All those years later, she had to go on Mr. Rogers to show kids that she wasn't a real witch. So I thought that was cute. But when she was the witch, man, she was on. I mean, I'm not a fan of the new Wicked movies. I haven't seen Wicked because sometimes I don't like when people try to justify the villain. Sometimes the villain just needs to be the villain for me. I mean, I don't need too much of a backstory. Let them be evil just because. I don't want to sympathize with a couple of there are certain villains I don't want to sympathize with. Not everybody is Thanos. Not everybody, okay, I get why he's doing it, and he's kind of right, whatever. Or Killmonger, I was rooting for Killmonger and Black Panther. He was right. But not all villains need a backstory to justify, oh, he's like that. It's not the villain's fault. No, some people are just bad. So in my head, she's just bad. I'm sorry. So to me, Wicked isn't canon. So my number 5 is also the Wicked Witch of the West. All right, we're going to get up to our top 4. If you have a top 4, leave it in the comments, leave it in our chat if you're watching us live. Zael, who's your number 4?
Well, I love how in the beginning you said that, of course, we were doing a list of witches and you needed the female perspective. But my number 4 is actually not a female. And when I saw this movie, I thought that this actor in this movie did such an amazing job portraying what we characterize today as a witch that I had to put him at my number 4. And my number 4 is the Warlock from the movie Warlock from 1989. Julian Sands just embodied this character so well. It spawned a sequel. After the second one, I didn't watch any other sequels, but he just did it so well, and it had you believing that he was just this evil warlock out to destroy and undo the world. And that is why that's my number 4. I mean, it's amazing. It for me, it checks all the boxes. And Julian Sands, may he rest, of course, an underrated actor.
Yeah, we just recently lost him, and the way he passed was it was sad the way he passed. But yeah, George, did you ever see Warlock?
Yeah, I remember. I really liked the movie, and not only did I watch the movie, I played the game. The game sucks, by the way, but I really remember the game. I remember the Super Nintendo the game, and I played it. But yeah, I watched both movies, in fact, and I didn't really care for the second one, but the first one, that will creep you out, especially when you're. Yeah. I wasn't a kid, but I was, I think I was like in my 17, 18s,
Yeah, they gave that movie a lot on Showtime. I watched that movie a lot.
Yeah, every time it comes on, you just want to see it. You just want to sit down and watch it because that's how good it is.
It's good. It's very underrated. People need to give Warlock more love. Yes. All right, so number 4, Warlock. George, you're number 4.
Well, this is a movie. This is really funny because the first time I watched this movie, it really didn't do it for me. But then after I watched another movie by the same director, I decided, let me revisit this movie. I don't know. Maybe it was the time, the years or something. I appreciated watching it different. But I remember the second time I watched it, and I was really into the movie, and it really creeped the shit out of me. And I'm talking about The Witch, and specifically The Witch of the Woods. And this is a little bit of I'm not gonna say I'm cheating because she's not the actual witch in the woods. But this movie will, if you go into the movie with this mindset of what the director is telling you, it really creep you out the way that society can crumble on itself. Like people will create society. Society will create its own monster, and the movie does not avoid the supernatural, especially at the end. With the black fillet thing, like when you hear the voice of the goat, or whatever it is, and then she goes into the actual wood. That movie will fucking scare it, creep you out. I remember I watched it the second time. I wasn't to it, and I remember I was like, "Ah, shit! I gotta turn the lights on because this movie really will get under your skin." Really, really nice movie, The Witch.
I have not seen The Witch. I've been meaning to watch it and I have not been able to see it yet.
Put
So
that on your list. Put it on your
Yeah,
list.
put on your scene. I mean, the first time I watched it, I don't know. I guess I wasn't in the mood for that kind of movie because it's a slow burn movie. It requires your attention. It requires you to be into the movie. And so not a lot of people can deal with that when movies that require your
yeah.
attention. But once you give it to it. Oh man, it will reward you in a really big time.
All right. So there you go. The Witch from The Witch. George's number 4. Okay. When I saw your list and I saw Zael's list, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit because I didn't want to repeat a lot of names. But what I did was I said, okay, TV gave us a lot of witches, right? Some memorable for being characters on a show, or some of them just being a one-off. This witch came from a show that almost every episode scared the shit out of me. It was from Tales from the Dark Side.
Ooh.
This witch was from the episode Trick or Treat. This lady right here scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Scared of that.
I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It was just the makeup, and it was on at 11:30 at night. I shouldn't have been awake watching this, but I was with my mom. My mom loved horror movies and she loved horror series. So I was watching it with my mom. And there were 3 episodes that scared the crap out of me of Tales from the Dark Side. I'm gonna go into that soon in another video. This is one from Trick or Treat, and it was because of this witch. Scared the shit out of me. I don't care how old you are. She pops up like that. The way she popped up in that show, she'll scare the shit out of you. So my number 4 is the witch from Tales from the Dark Side's episode Trick or Treat. So I'm not even going to justify it. Watch it. It might be silly now, but I'm telling you.
I agree with you. I've seen it. It does scare the living daylights out of you.
She comes out of nowhere. She freaking comes out of nowhere. All right, so we're getting into our top 3. Zael, what's your number 3?
All right, so my number 3 is probably going to cause a little, I don't know, back and forth maybe in the comments. So guys, let us know what you think in those comments, because the reason I picked my number 3 is because you're thinking, okay, I'm watching a movie about witches. Everything's going well, but then you don't realize that when an individual has certain kind of abilities and powers, how it could actually drive you insane. So my number 3 is Nancy Downs from the movie The Craft. I mean, you want a psycho witch? You've got one right there. And the first time that I saw the movie, I thought, okay, so we got teenage witches. All right. So this is a coming of age kind of thing. They're going to, get some powers. Something's going to go wrong and they're going to learn a lesson. But then when you're actually watching it and you see how crazy she gets and that battle between the good and evil, it's just very eye-opening as to, with great power comes great responsibility. Kind of threw that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she really went psycho there. That is why she's my number 3, because to this day, I still think about, like, if I think about witches in movies, she comes to my mind just like that.
Yep. No, I agree. Nancy Downs, number 3. I'm surprised she's not higher. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, you gotta say that.
Calm down.
The Craft, man. I remember that movie that did such an impact, and back in it is an 90s movie, right? And it made such an impact. And even today, like 30 years after, it's still such an aesthetic. Now the kids are calling. So I love that movie, and I love that character, and I love Fairuza Balk.
Oh, yes.
She's amazing.
Yes. George, number 3.
Well, my number three again, and this is one that actually scared the shit out of me when I watch it. I watched this movie way too young, way too young. Again, that's something that we said a lot in
Yeah.
this show. But I'm talking about a Mother Superium, Mother Super. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mother Superium, Suspirium, from the movie Suspiria, and that.
Nice choice.
Yeah, you can take it out. That whole movie again, this is the kind of psychological movie before they were psychological, and back then they were still calling them giallo, whatever the fuck. Dario Argento, one of his best movie, part of the Three Mothers trilogy, and that movie will really fuck you up. Like it will psychologically fuck you up if you watch it. But Mother Superior, I remember the first time I watched it. Again, too young. I was like, holy fucking shit! It really shock you. One of those movies that I watched too young, and then I didn't watch it again, like for I don't know, for 5-10 years, something like that. So Mother Superior, and the funny thing is that she almost doesn't show in the movie. She's a blink and you miss it character. Like it's her presence that is in the movie. You know, you feel her presence, her influence. She almost doesn't show it in the whole movie. Like you almost never see her, even to the end. And that's how well that made this movie, and that's how well work is this character.
All right, number three. All right, my number three is from a movie I didn't see until I was an adult. Right, so probably if I would have seen it when I was a kid, it probably would have been different. It's a staple for Halloween. She's very popular. I'm gonna go with Winifred Sanderson, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain why. She's not scary in the sense because Bette Miller is not ugly. She's very beautiful in her own way. She's very beautiful. But the intent of this witch, you know how if you actually look at the movie, not being a kids movie, she was bad. She was evil. Like she was trying to. She killed children. She used her sisters. Don't forget about Hocus Pocus 2. That movie. Forget about that one. I'm not even worried about that one. She was killing children to be beautiful. It was a very vain intent what she was doing. The boyfriend, the one that comes back from the dead, that he's a zombie or he's like a ghoul. Look at the stuff she actually did. Even though it was a kids movie, she was evil. She was bad. Like that movie could have been a horror movie. If you would have just changed a little bit of things, it could have gone the other way. So you had a very easy horror movie if it wouldn't have been a Disney movie. If you would have given that movie to Wes Craven, totally different movie. Totally different movie. So I got to give it to Winifred because of what she was doing and just how manipulative she was. Forget about the songs and all that. If you actually look at what she was doing, she was bad. She was bad. So I got to give Winifred my number three, which of my top number three. All right, guys, if you are here, give us a like, hype up the video, give us your list on the chat. Let us know because we're going to our top two. And before we get to the top, we're going to talk about our honorable mentions. But we're going to go with our top two. Zael, what's your top two witch?
My top two witch. George, you and I had this one in common. So when I watched this movie, I actually went to the theater to watch this movie. And just like George says, you have to pay attention to the movie because it goes slow. But the psychological aspects of the movie has you thinking so many different things. You have no idea who the witch in this movie is. And then it turns out there's more than one witch or there's not a witch. And then what's up with the goat? So my number two is the witch from The Witch. And again, I'm going to have to say, I first started out with the actual witch in the woods because, of course, she unalived that baby to get the fine ointment kind of thing. But then by the end of the movie, spoiler, sorry. By the end of the movie, when the character of Thomasin then turns into a witch herself because Black Phillip kind of talked her into it, it was like I felt like I was in an M. Night Shyamalan movie with a twist.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my number two, because you don't expect a twist at the end. You see this family going through all of these things, thinking at the end someone's going to help them or they're going to help themselves. And then it ends up, the bad guy wins. And I love movies where bad guy wins.
But if if you're honest, I mean, the bad guy wins in a sense, but, they made it themselves. Like they made it happen themselves, because they were so set on their ways.
Right.
And they created their own monster, and it's such an amazing movie. I really creep you out.
It does. That's why it's my number two.
All right, there's your number two. All right, George, your number two.
All right, this one, she's you probably know her if you watch the show Game of Thrones. I'm talking about Lady Melisandre, the Red Woman, the Fire Woman, the Fire Priest. And the reason this is my number two, and this is important because I know a lot of people know her from the show. The character is really nice in the show, and the actress does amazing in the show. But I know this character from the books, and if you read the books, Melisandre, every time that she's in a scenes in the books, shit's gonna go down. Like she's fucked up in the movie, in the books. Like her character, they did it dirty on the show because when you're reading on the book, like you never really understand what she's why why are you doing the things that you do? Like why, and people around her they are described as just getting gunned and like she's draining the energy from them. They can't realize it, and then there's a point in the book when you can read her own thoughts and you realize that this is a creature that almost doesn't sleep, almost doesn't eat. She feeds herself from her own power, and every time she's on you're reading something, some shit is going down, like something evil is coming down, like it creeps you out whenever you're reading, and then she's on the books. It's like, man, something's gonna happen, and you don't get that kind of characters a lot. That is so well done. Like when you read it and you go to her, anda pa'l carajo, like something's gonna happen. Like, what is gonna happen now? Like a character that scares you and puts you on your alert. So Lady Melisandre, amazing character, more because of the books than the show, but still she did really well on the show.
George,
All right.
you just made me want to read the book. Thank you. Like with that description, I've been looking for a reason to read the books, and you just gave me a reason.
Yeah, because she's really fucked up in the books, and then at the fifth book, you get to read a chapter from her mind, and this is fucked up. Like I don't know what she wants, but she's fucking everybody up.
Wow.
All right, there's your number two. Go read the game. Don't watch the show. George says don't watch the show. Read the books.
I mean, no, you can watch the show, but you can watch the show, but still, the books always are mostly, casi siempre, like most of the time, they're better.
Well, they have more time to flesh out the characters and little details. Sometimes on movies and shows, they'd have to like condense a lot in order to get the best bang for their buck. Unfortunately.
True, I agree.
And you think you would think that with shows they would have more time to establish their characters and to tell the story, but that show is expensive, so I get it.
But in this case, like it really frustrates you because when you watch the show, like she appears in the second season, and in that second season she's really well written. Like you can see her from whatever it is that she is, and her powers and the way that she uses her power and her influences, like it's really well represented. I don't know, I guess they didn't know what else to do, how else to do to translate to the book, and they kind of they ruin it from the rest of the show. But on that second season, she's really well presented as she is in the book. But then that stops me. So Melisandre is a really weird evil presence in the books, and you should go read them.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go with my second one. She already appeared on the list. She's scary, but she's nice to look at. I'm sorry, I gotta go with Nancy Downs. I don't care. She's like the Craft. When I went to go see the Craft, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the day I graduated high school, and I went with a couple of friends and we saw it. And I till this day I'll watch the Craft and I won't get tired of it. Matter of fact, you want to know something? I wanted more, and they didn't give us more. It just stayed as one movie until they made that reboot, sequel / I didn't even see it. I haven't even seen it, and I know that there's a cameo. I don't care. It's not what we wanted. I really did want to see more of that story. It was like that. They did a male version. I think it was called The Covenant. That it was kind of like a male version that they would will each other the powers. They were like warlocks, and it was like in a school. It stayed at one movie too. They never continued the franchise, so it's sad. We don't have to go into too much detail with Nancy. I mean, she's come on, man. I mean, I can't. There's nothing I can say that can justify she's my number two. I don't care. That's my list. All right. So before we get into our top number one, Let's go with some honorable mentions. George, you threw me a list. Let's go into yours. You're muted. You're muted,
Ahora,
bud.
ahora, sí, sorry. Okay, so one thing about this, what I when we started the show, like I told you guys that one of the things that I did for this is to pick the witches that scare me or creep me out, right? But I could make like a 20 for list. So I decided to put this because they're so special for me. First of all, the first one, the original one, the first one that I love with Samantha Stephens from the show Bewitched. Like I absolutely love that woman. I love that witch, and I will watch that show only just because her. She's the one that made me love witches. So thank you, Samantha, from the show Bewitched. My second mention is one reason that she's supposedly dead. I know she's not dead. She's gonna rap, but it's Scarlet Witch from the movies. Like,
Oh,
that's okay. Scarlet Witch. I love that character. I think I really love that they made her creepy on the last movie. So I absolutely love the character and from the movies. And finally, my favorite witch of all time. It's not on the top one because she's not scary. All the contrary, I absolutely love you, Sally Owens. Is Sandra Bullock her best character? My favorite Sandra Bullock movie, Practical Magic, and I'm so happy they're doing another one after all this time. I can't wait to see Sally Owens again. Like I absolutely love that character. I love that, and also that's such a nice witch movie. It's so bad that it didn't really make more money or something, so we had to wait so long. But at least they're doing it, so I absolutely love. So those are my honorable mentions.
that's the one with Nicole Kidman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one for
Okay.
Nicole, and she's really nice in that movie. But I just love Sally Owens.
Okay. So my honorable mention is a witch that I watched the show just because of her. I'm gonna go with Piper Halliwell from Charm. I
Oh,
love Piper. Oh my god, I love Piper.
Good pick.
Oh, and to me, she's the best witch. After if you haven't seen Charm, spoiler, after the eldest Prue dies, she takes over as the head witch, and they did so well with her character, and she was. I just love Piper. She's I'm on TV. She's my favorite witch. So that's my honorable mention. She's played by Holly Marie Combs. It's a shame that they did do a reboot, and they had nothing to do with them. And I don't think anybody wanted to come back to that mess because they don't get along. Well, two of the witches do get along. I think it's what's her face, Elisa Milano. I don't think they stand her. And it's a shame because that would have been a good reboot. But I think I think that show ended well. The way they finished it was fine. It went on a little too long. I think it was too long. They could have just stopped it a couple of seasons short. All right. We're gonna go into number one. Zael, what's your number one?
All right, again, I'm going to cause a little controversy with my number one because this is a movie I actually watched recently, and I went into watching this movie thinking it was about aliens, and plot twist, it was a witch. So I'm going to go with Gladys from the movie Weapons. And the reason she's my number one is because, like I said, I watched it recently, and I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, what's going on? Why are these kids disappearing? Is it some kind of like alien invasion that they're taking the kids first? And then when you come to this, you're halfway in the movie and you're invested, and then this character pops up. Hi, I'm Gladys, and I'm like, why is this character first like look like the crypt keeper? And then when you see that scene where she's actually, spoilers if you haven't seen Weapons.
yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
Oh
Weapons.
my gosh. Okay. Sorry,
So,
guys.
you can't, yeah,
That's my
fucked
number
it up.
one. It's just when I finished watching the movie, you can ask my husband, like I was there. I was like, what did I just watch? Wow. Oh, that's messed up. That is so messed up. The reason why this movie is about witchcraft. It's just so messed up. So I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. You just got to watch the movie Weapons.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max
It is.
already. So okay. I'll watch that dog.
It's my list.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this.
I guess I'll go watch. What's the movie with the dog? With the dogs?
Good boy.
Good Boy. I guess I'll watch Good Boy and.
Yeah, you got to watch that one too. It's really good.
All right, that's it. George, you're number one.
Yeah. Before I say my number one, I want to say that there's some comments. Leonel Liconfuentes 27, he mentions the Blair Witch, and I understand what you mean, but there's not an actual witch. Like the
Yeah,
Blair Witch doesn't exist even inside the movie. Like within the
Right.
movie, the Blair Witch is this legend, and then I don't know if that's canon, but apparently it was kind of some kind of aliens or something like that shit. But there's no actual witch. Like
yeah.
there's a
There's no
legend.
witch.
Yeah.
There's not, so that's why we can really put it on the top three. It's a nice movie, like it's a nice concept, but it's not. There's not an actual witch.
Yeah, I mean
And
the closest we ever got to seeing the Blair Witch was a McFarlane toy that he made that was going to be the concept of the witch. They just never got around to actually making it, and they made it. For them, it was more interesting to keep it kind
yeah,
of like guessing: is she real or is she not? Is it psychosis? Is there
yeah,
something going on in the woods? So, and I think that's the better route because the witch you put in your head is much better than whatever they can put on screen.
I agree.
definitely. And I don't know if this is what they were trying to do. I don't think so, but happy happenstance, whatever you say it. But the concept of the witch, of the Blair Witch, is this imaginary thing. They blame the evil, like some dude does something evil to kids, which unfortunately happens, and they say, "Oh, it was the witch," but it was actually some guy from the village, or that is the rich guy, or the son of the rich guy that is hurting kids, and they blame it on the witch. So I think that kind of, it can work like that. So anyway, so my number one, it was actually mentioned. I was surprised because Sayel put her under her number five, but this is my number one, which is and is your number two, which the Grand Witch from the movie Witches, and motherfucker, she's ugly, and the reason is my number one is because again I watched this movie when I was a kid, and I didn't know about this movie. Like I think my mom rented, and we were watching the movie, and when she peels her face and that thing comes out, oh my god, this scared the shit out of me. Like I remember being so scared and so creeped out by this thing. So of course it doesn't really scare you today. It's a kids movie, but it's a kids scary movie. Back when they didn't care, like they
Yeah.
give a shit that we will scare you, kid. We will fucking kids. You're gonna be scared. We're gonna traumatize you. They didn't care. They will traumatize you. They will make gremlins for kids, and then we're gonna put on an osterizer on a blender.
I love
You,
Gremlins.
they don't
I
give a
love
shit.
Gremlins.
I love it.
I
Yes.
love Gremlins.
There's just the one gremlin that is just derritiéndose, like
He's melting. Yeah, and the one in the microwave. The one in the microwave.
the
Fuck.
one in the microwave. They didn't give a shit back then. Like they will fuck. Like, they will really try to scare the fuck kids up. And the witches for me was the one that did it. Like, I mean, again, I know what you said, Sayel. Like it's a kids movie, but man, they didn't. They really went all the way back then for kids movie. Like
And maybe I should have watched
they
it.
remade this movie the other couple of years ago with Anne Hathaway, and they tried to make her scary, but they didn't get close to what they did with
Nope.
the witches. Like not even close. So yeah, that's my first one because it did such a big impression on me when I was a kid the first time I watched it.
I feel like
Then-
now I could have watched it as a kid, George, because
Yeah.
I ended up watching it as a teenager, so maybe that's why I wasn't that scared of it.
No, I was a kid. I think that the movie I didn't watch it at the theater, but I remember watching it like really close to the VHS when it came out in VHS. It was like a estreno, like a new movie available for back in the video clubs. So I didn't know about how she looks like. I didn't know that. So I remember it really made an impression on me.
They really didn't try to make Anne Hathaway ugly in that movie. I know she had the smile, and I'm like, like we say in Spanish, todavía se va.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
scared.
happens.
Just turn the light off. Oh, let's go.
Hey, Hate.
Yes, I'm not scared. Okay, so this is the closest we've ever gotten to seeing the Blair Witch. It was a toy concept.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what you
that's-
mean. I know what you
Yeah, that was the closest. All right, so my number one is not from a movie. It is from a TV show, and she's not scary. I mean, depending on your taste. I just love what she did on the show. She was evil. Some of the shit she did in that show was too much. Fiona Good from American Horror Story Coven. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She is my number one. I mean, if you haven't seen American Horror Story Coven,
Oh, I love that season.
I
I
love
love.
it.
that is to me, she's my number one. I'm sorry, she's just she was bad. She was very bad in that show, and it's a shame because American Horror Story. I think the last one I saw was Freak Show. I think that was when I stopped watching it. Freak Show. I stopped watching it. That was I don't even know how much they have, how many they have after that.
I
Um,
stopped watching with Hotel. Like I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes, and said, yeah, this is
Me
not.
too. I stopped with the hotel season. I
Yeah,
tried watching one episode of the one about elections, and I was like, no, this is not no.
I
no, you
went
know
back.
what? You know what? You're right. I stopped at Hotel like the first or second episode, then I just stopped. I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. I'm good.
I went back for the Apocalypse season, the Apocalypse season, because the witches were back. Like they put together, like they combined Hotel, Coven with Murder House, the first one and the witches one, and they did a combined season. It wasn't great, but it was nice just because you got to see those characters back again.
They tried to really like through all the seasons connect each of the seasons to the previous or even the characters like kids from like other seasons and stuff like that, the family members and stuff. So they tried to really interconnect it. And I think there's another season even coming out soon.
I know. Doesn't Hulu have like little mini seasons, like or anthology type deals? Isn't
It
that
has,
what they're doing?
yes. It's
They
Hulu,
did a
it has
show, yeah.
anthologies. Yeah, it's a show. It's got little like mini stories. I did watch one where about aliens. I got to think about aliens. And it was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as the first like 4 seasons of the original.
Yeah, I gotta catch up. I'm so behind on everything. But there you go, guys. That is our top 5 list of top 5 witches which brings our Halloween season to an end. We've had a great time making our list, talking, just coming up with stories, and just having a good time with y'all. Thank you for the support, George. Where can we find you online?
You can find me at El George Rivera Rubio, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can listen to our podcast, Legalmente Nerd Podcast, and in every audio app that you have for podcasts.
All right, Zael, where can we find you? Because you have a YouTube channel. Where can we find you?
I have a YouTube channel. It's right under Zyelle, XYELLE. On TikTok and Instagram, you can find me with Zyelle_22. So come on over and let's have a conversation.
Yeah, subscribe because her Star Wars videos are great. All of them, the Funko Pops, the reviews, the reactions, they're all great. I enjoy them a lot. And of course, you can find me online as Kevin Dagger PR. If you want to see more of the wrestling content, which for the moment is in Spanish, you can go to Kevin Dagger Wrestling, or you can stay here because either today or tomorrow, I'm going to come up with my review for Welcome to Derry, episode 1. So let's see what happens. I can't wait. It should be coming up in about 45 minutes. So hopefully it delivers. I hope so. Zael, George, thanks for coming on. Thank everyone for watching. Subscribe. Don't forget to like, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Happy Halloween.